Welcome to another exciting episode of the $1 Million Peddlers. I'm Paper Guy.
And I'm Mr. Shot. I mean, Mr. Magazine.
And it's the Hump Day Happy Hour Salute. And we enjoyed Nicky Grain whiskey from Japan.
Okay, whatever you say. Yeah.
And we had two of them today.
We did.
Do you know why?
No clue. I'm still waiting. Why I'm buzzing right now.
Happy 30th birthday this past week to Cardi B.
Oh,
so we wanted to celebrate Cardi B's birthday, and that was well worth it.
Wow, she's only 30.
She's only 30.
She could be my daughter. That's sad.
Okay. And we've got a few people in the house.
We do. We have awesome Aaron, first out the box. Marvelous Michael, and lovely Lori is here as well.
Nice. All righty. We're going to jump right on into the show today. Oh, somebody else show up. Oh.
Calm and cool calamities in the house.
There you go.
All right.
We're going to head on into the show. How are sales? And I'm thinking they might be slumping because that's what we're talking about today.
I'm going to say I hate Mondays.
Okay.
I love football, but I hate Mondays because it seems like no one's doing any buying on Sunday, and eBay sales are putrid come Monday or Tuesday or Wednesday. But Amazon's not bad. I think Amazon, the Christmas season starting earlier for them, it seems. We're selling more stuff on Amazon, so I'm going to go with that. But I don't know what's going on with eBay. We have a lot of quality items up there, and sadly, if it's not selling, we're getting low offers on them. So, we're really selective on what we're accepting because I don't want to give stuff away either. We've got a lot of good toys, good comics, good sports stuff. And I'd rather not sell it for cheap now and hold on for a couple months and see if it sells during Christmas.
All right. Let's see if other people are coming in and see how their sales are doing.
Joy is in the house.
Hi, caught alive.
Yeah.
Welcome.
Yep. Famous Pharaoh Girl Vintage. Did I say that right? Gosh, I hope so. And jokingly, John Jones is in the house. Yep. I've got a mind blank with these shots.
Dynamic
Dave. There you go. Dynamic Dave. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, for sure. All right. And let's
Thank God Cardi B's birthday is only once a year.
Yeah, right. It's like a leap year, hopefully. But let's see. Fairly steady.
Fairly steady. Okay.
Oh, that's good.
Okay.
Yeah, that's good. Tragic. I don't want to say tragic for me, but it could be better, could be worse.
We're in our putrid. Lots of watchers, but no money. Okay.
Yeah, we got a lot of watchers and a lot of low ball offers, And then we have good evening. The marvelous Michelle is in the house as well.
Actually, I'm going to tell you how my sales were for a moment, but bring back up the one about the watchers because that reminded me of something other that I wanted to say.
Is this it? I don't know where we're at. Here we go.
I kind of knew this was happening, and I forgot to write this down on my notes, so I wanted to get this out right now.
Okay.
Well, somebody made me an offer, and I banned them because it was not a good offer whatsoever.
Good for you.
And then I noticed that there was somebody watching the item that they had made the offer on. So I said, I bet it's them watching the item.
Mm-hmm.
Let me make an offer to watcher.
Mm-hmm.
So I clicked on it, made an offer to watcher after I put somebody on my banned bidder list.
Yeah.
And it said, we were unable to send that offer, which is kind of what I knew was going to happen, but I just wanted to prove it. So sure enough, people can watch it if they're on your banned bidder list, but you cannot send the offer to watcher in that case.
Yeah.
So
now I don't know if you know this or not, but I emailed eBay and I said they should.
I did not.
I should change it to watcher to window shopper. What do you think about that?
I'm thinking that. I think it's a really good idea.
Yeah, then people at least know they're not going to buy the item. Don't get your hopes up. They're just window shopping.
Oh, Calamity says sales are good enough, but definitely down. Okay.
Omar, I'm going to be honest with you. I'm glad you're here, but
you can't think of anything.
I can't think. Oblivion. No, I can't say.
No, that was negative.
Omnius.
Oh, it's Omar.
Oh, it's Omar. Okay, I got you. All right.
Sales are not terrible, but not good. I sold my baseball ticket stub from the Judge record breaking game the other day.
I'm just curious what that sold for. Not that it matters, but you can tell us if you'd like.
Wow.
Popular puddings in the house. What's going on? And I'm going to call you Popular Paul because you're on my popular list.
There you go. Still good. 50%. Okay,
Wow,
nice.
all right. It's a little hot in here. I don't know if it's your house or the second shot, but hey, it is what it is. Ooh, 155, not bad. I'm wondering what that would sell for like 10 years from now, but yeah, very cool. Can't argue. That probably paid for your tickets.
Wow. Well, my price is like 60 cents and doing free shipping and all. Oh, wow.
Nice.
Okay. Yeah.
Keep pumping them out.
And
Pump
definitely
out.
let us know how that works out for you as well, because it's kind of good to have a lot of people doing a lot of different experiments to see what does work.
If it's up to me, Paul, we're going to get you to 100,000 listings by Christmas.
Nice.
What do you think of that?
My sales tanked after the update, hoping to avoid another collapse like that. Yeah, that would. So, believe it or not, I'm walking on air.
Oh, I knew it. I knew that was coming, and I didn't want to talk about some cheesy superhero show from the 80s, but hey, it is what it is.
Anywho, I actually had, and I only know because eBay shows you the charts for the last 30 days, 31 days. I think it's 30 days.
Yeah.
I actually yesterday had the best day of the last 30 days.
Okay.
I had my best sales day.
Okay.
Sales are actually okay, but what a lot of it seems to be is that I take offers on auctions, and I've actually got 106 items listed up at auction. Okay. And I've taken a couple of offers, like 3 or 4 items I've taken offers on, but these are very, very nice offers. I had one item I wanted 32. Somebody offered me 50 on it. Like, let's get that out the door. I'd rather get rid of it because I do my research on the stuff. Could I have left a little money on the table? Maybe, but I don't think so. Or if I did, it wasn't a lot of money. So I've been selling a lot of stuff, 3, 4 items that I put up for auction, thanks to the best offer on auction.
Yeah.
So that's working out. And I've got a couple of other items that people did bid on as well. So cannot argue. Sales they're finally okay. I mean, it took a while to get to okay, but we are finally okay on that.
It could be better, could be worse. She framed the other one they have in our collection. Speaking of framing and Aaron Judge, I don't know if I told you this, but I'm a collector as well. And I decided I bought an Aaron Judge ball.
Yep.
So I'm like, well, let me get an Aaron Judge photo. And before you know it, I went into my collection and I had a signed Mickey Mantle ball and photo, a signed Babe Ruth ball and photo, a signed Maris ball and photo, and I bought the signed Judge and photo. And I'm going to have them all framed together. So the top 4 Yankees of all time that didn't do steroids, they had the most home runs.
Say it to Joe DiMaggio's face.
Where
have you gone, Joe DiMaggio?
He was a hitter, not a slugger. Everyone knows that.
The nation turns its lonely eyes to you. Oh.
Here we go. I think you're better off reciting Cardi B.
You don't want to hear that. Trust me, you don't want to hear that. And then on the other sites over there, and Amazon's staying fine.
Yeah,
Amazon.
Amazon's very good. Yeah. I'm scared about Christmas season because we're loaded up already with toys and stuff, and I think we're going to get slammed, hopefully.
So sold 1 item on $1,000,000.peddlers, 3 items on Vivs-Views, 6 items on Etsy.
Nice.
1 item on papergoy.com, and my wife ended up selling 1 item on Amazon, a CD that she had listed a while ago, 2016.
Which reminds me, I get you those CDs that's in the record room at the warehouse.
Super, just what I need, more CDs. How about any buys?
Well, as of right now, if you're asking me, I do have Aaron. He was in Massachusetts, and now he's in Connecticut, coming back tomorrow with 2 big collections, models, magazines, all kinds of stuff. But a lady did come in today. Her father's downsizing his collection. He had some high-grade older cards, football, baseball, basketball, but also a 1969 Topps basketball set. She actually had 2 of them, and she wanted X amount of money for it. I'm going to say the price, $1,500. And I was willing to go $1,250. She showed me the one set. She goes, well, what if I showed you a second set and you can mix and match the highest grades out of the set? Would you do $1,500? I go, you know what? I think I would. So I went through the 2 and you never see these in high grade. And this person had 2 sets high grade. Generally on eBay, they're about $2,500 a set, but I did pay a little more because I might as well get the stars graded, because the Luell Center, that one time we had a 6, it went for $3,000, so I think I'll take the top 5 cards, get them graded, and that's where you make your money down the road.
Nice. Yeah. Anybody else buying anything out there? See people tell me. Right. Okay, thank you, Paul. Yep, definitely like to hear how the sales go next week.
So would I, obviously.
But it sold 80%. Whoa.
Wow.
Now I know some people's sales aren't, going great, and I was thinking for the excuse of the week, I'm thinking it's got to be because the seasons are changing. People are doing their last lawn mowing. They're doing their last raking. They're starting to make sure the rakes are working, make sure the rakes are charged up and working, making sure of all that kind of stuff. So they're all set to do the yard work. So that's why sales are down this week. But next week, it's going to really, really take off. Okay. And then another thing I was thinking about that I wrote down was I know that a friend of the channel, Auction Professor, and I know a lot of people on the feed here swear by the end and sell similar, which I admittedly have not done.
I'll never do that again.
But it brought a question up in my head, and that was...
Oh, where's Don? Is that your question?
The other question
that was my question, but okay, go ahead.
The other question that I had was, what if we weren't able to end and sell similar? Like, what if nobody did it? Would there just be simply no sales on eBay? You know what I'm saying?
There would be less sales. There would have to be less sales.
Or would they still?
No sales is kind of extreme.
Or would somehow or other everybody still product just end up still being sold because eBay has to have sales. I'm not doing
sell similar, and I'm selling steadily. So
yeah. I kind of was wondering about that because it's like it's a way to goose sales, but if everybody stopped doing it, what would happen? I don't know.
Good question. Yeah.
My sales are slow. I look at my GMV sales rank on the listing quality report. My rank stays the same or goes up. I know it's not me. There you go.
All right.
It's not you. It's me.
Exactly. Or eBay.
I went to a postcard show last week and nothing spectacular. $10, $20 cards for $1. Yeah, and that's the crazy thing about this hobby is we buy not postcards necessarily, but magazines, things like that.
Things in that price range. We would, even though we have 1 million of them, we would still buy more at that price because you can make money at some point.
Yeah, yeah.
We're addicted. We're addicted and obsessed too. But hey.
Although on the positive side, I went to the flea market and I bought nothing. I went to the library sale. I bought 2 books, paid $1 a piece, bought a Gone with the Wind, which actually do sell the old Gone with the Winds. I don't know, it's 38th print or something like that. That will sell in a book to read about LeBron James. So I bought LeBron James.
Cool. Yeah.
So I bought that. Went today. I got a call from somebody that I had purchased from before. They said, "Oh, I've got coins and watches." I'm like, "All right." Get up there. They don't have any coins. They don't have any watches. They decided I guess their brother got involved in the estate and doesn't want to necessarily sell that stuff. I ended up buying like 5 beer tins and some, I didn't know. Did you know Zippo did keychains?
I don't think I knew that.
They had a Zippo keychain, which I didn't know Zippo did keychains. And then they had a few things that I didn't want to buy and I didn't buy. They had cap guns, which I know you can sell, but then you got to do the orange.
I give them to the auction guys. I don't want to deal with them, honestly. Just give them to, because it's, who knows what, there could be something else wrong, or you can't list a certain one. And it's just a headache.
So I said, no, say hi to Linda.
I was going to say, lovely Linda's in the house. How's it going?
So I didn't buy the cap guns. Then they had a Zippo lighter, but they were putting a lot of value on the Zippo lighter. And I know you're not allowed to ship those air. You have to do it ground.
Some aren't, and you probably can't ship them overseas. Overseas is weird now. Yeah, so
you cannot ship them overseas.
Yeah, even those, I don't know. I don't get a lot of money for them when other people do, so I kind of stay away from them.
And then the other item they had, which was really neat, but I just didn't want to buy them. I probably could have taken the labels off them and sold them. They had old firecrackers in label with old Chinese labels and everything like that.
That's actually pretty cool.
They're really, they're good.
If you didn't sell them, I'd buy them for my son. He just would like to keep weird stuff like that.
They're neat, but yeah, I didn't end up buying them just because it was just,
what do you do with them? If they're cheap, if you can get them cheap, who cares? But awesome antiquarians in the house. How's it going?
Well, my other thought was it's just all I need is like store a bunch of fireworks in the house and have a spark go off in my house.
Or if you leave them in your car with all the other stuff that's been in there for 2 months, all those boxes in, it gets sunny out, and all of a sudden the sun's, zoning in on the firecrackers, they explode. All the magazines in the car that's been in there for months explode, and then it gets to your engine and fuel line, and then that explodes. We don't want that. So to everyone, word of advice, empty your vehicle of all paper products. Do not drive around wasting gas, killing the environment. I'm done right now. Go ahead.
Those aren't just paper products in there, right?
Well, there's some. I'm sure there's some.
There are also CDs.
Oh, okay.
So I went back to the flop house.
I'm sure they like you calling it that.
So long story short, as everybody knows, I got my shots last week, and I was on the show right after having the
two more
shots
today.
Yes, I got my flu and my fifth COVID shot last week. I woke up Thursday morning, and I was feeling it, and I actually ended up feeling it for quite a while, but I was feeling it Thursday morning. So don't you know, that's when the gentleman with the CDs contacts me and says, "I'll be heading over there shortly, boss. See ya." And I'm like, oh boy. Oh, things got crazy. I didn't have an opportunity to box everything up. Oh boy.
Oh, geez.
So I'm like, here I am, feverish, going back to the flop house. And I'm like, all right, I'll find some boxes. So I finally find some boxes. I said, just let me know when you're heading over there. Oh, I'm not going to be going over there. I got called into work. I'm going to have my cousin meet you.
Great.
I go, all right.
This place is the best.
It's a wonderful place. I can't wait till they try to wholesale the books out to me.
Jeez.
So I drive down there. I text him. I go, who am I asking for? He goes, go knock on the door and ask for Georgia. I said, all right, I got Georgia on my mind. All right.
Sure. Who doesn't?
So
I still have Georgia on my mind.
So I go up there. I knock on the door. The guy answers.
A new guy. You've never seen
this guy before. He's literally standing on the porch behind the door, drinking a cup of coffee. He opens the door. Can I help you? I go, yeah, I'm here to get the CDs. I'm supposed to ask for Georgia. Georgia? I don't know anybody named Georgia.
Why you go? Is this really worth it? You going back to this place?
For the stories alone, it's worth it.
Yeah, I guess it is. Yeah.
I don't know any Georgia. I said, well, I got sent over here. I'm supposed to pick the CDs up. I've got to box them up. All right, go upstairs. I go, all right. So I go upstairs. Here I am standing in the middle of this room, sweat pouring off my face because I'm feverish from the shot, starting to load the C's, going, what? Couldn't I have made some better choices in my life?
Yeah. So when you opened up that little window on the door and you had to put the code word in, you said Georgia, that's when you knew you should have turned around.
Very true. Yeah. So there I am loading the stuff up. 5 minutes later, I hear from downstairs, where is he? He's upstairs in a room? All right, I'm going to go up there. He's up there? And I'm thinking to myself, did I just get set up and am I getting mugged?
I think you need a wake-up call. You should have done a selfie with the place in the background and then looked and like, what am I doing here? That's your wake-up call.
So I'm thinking to myself, is this guy like going upstairs to mug me? What is going on? All right, I'm going to go up there. And
at the very least, if you went with the tie like that, he would probably hang you.
That's nice.
Very easiest way.
So I'm standing there, like still boxing, waiting, and nobody's coming upstairs. I'm like, okay, I know he was asking to somebody upstairs.
Do you have a deal set in place for like you just come? Here's $50. Give me that, or you have to read.
No, I had a deal in place. So it was going to be $60, but I have to load everything.
Just leave it on the table and go. Like, really.
So the guy downstairs walks up, walks toward the room. I'm like, how you doing? And he just pushes the phone at me. His phone he's carrying at me. I go,
let me guess, it was some old portable that weighed 4 pounds and it had that little antenna that goes out 3 feet.
So I take the phone. I'm like, hello? Hi, the guy that just gave you the phone? I'm like, yeah, that's my father. Oh, okay. He's going to help you. Okay, I can pay him? Yep. Okay. So got the father to work, boxing stuff up, got the father to work, carrying everything downstairs. I end up helping him carry the stuff downstairs. We end up getting everything there. He's got the guy on the front porch watching the car to make sure nobody's stealing the car in between loads from the second story down into there because somebody might run off and steal stuff out of it. People in that neighborhood,
they want 50-pound boxes of ephemera. Yes.
No, it's 50-pound boxes of classical music CDs.
Right. Okay, so they didn't go to Record Archive and get 10 cents a piece.
So finally get everything loaded up. I go hand $60. I go, this is for your son. And I handed a guy $20. I go, this is for you. Thank you. And you never saw somebody drive out so fast. I was like driving. Like I just seen the Munsters house.
Wow. Yeah, exactly. Well, right now we have Joyous Jim is in the house and he says I crack him up. So thank you very much.
Dawn is here.
Delightful Dawn is finally here. We were worried like always. She's like my employees at the warehouse. They can come in whenever they want. They don't get scolded.
So, but that is what you see in the entire back seat. And I ended up with about 1,000 classical music CDs for $80. So 8 cents a CD. I think I can make money.
Absolutely.
Took my life in my own hands a couple of different times.
Yeah. Well, if you do a one night, you probably get 12 cents a piece.
Nice. Almost passed out from the COVID shot down there. We got yelled at the first time I was there. It was a wonderful, wonderful trip.
All right, now I got to go with the N-word. Neutron Nova's in the house. How's it going?
Henry Hornfield. Oh, yeah, trust me. Trust me.
Yeah. Well, the first time I would have been out, I would have stepped in and stepped out. I would have moonwalked right out of there. For sure. Yeah.
If anybody is interested in buying classical music CDs, definitely do reach out to me. Not for CDs, exactly. Oh, well. Yeah, but I did it all for the show. How about that? How about I say that?
It is, yeah. Entertainment.
All right, time for Glitch of the Week. And you actually brought something to the table this week,
I
Mr.
did.
Magazine.
I'm usually not aware of these glitches because I do not list, but my employees do. And for whatever reason, today around 3:30, my employee comes to me and says, just so you know, when I sell similar on eBay, I can't change the eBay category. I said, what do you mean? The store, my store? He goes, no, your store category is fine. I can change that. So he listed 3 or 4 of them. I go, well, just list everything now, write down, and then go back and revise it. I'm sure they'll fix it at a later date. 10, 20 minutes later, everything was back up and running normal. So, but there's my glitch.
Well, I know one of our subscribers reached out to me. It appears that every time they list, it automatically switches it to auction. They have to keep switching it back to buy it now on every single listing.
What's weird is why is it just one person or people? It's sporadic. It should be everyone. Everyone should have the same issue, and they don't, which is really weird.
Yeah, I don't know. It's not you. It's not us. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to go into a rambling glitch of the week. So you're aware your Yankees are playing my Guardians in baseball.
Yeah. And a lot of people thought the Guardians would win the first game.
And you saw how the Guardians got into that playoff game, right? The game before when they played Tampa Bay.
I would be lying if I said I knew how they got in.
So Tampa Bay and Cleveland played a game on Saturday. I'm
not complaining because Tampa Bay has been historically destroying the Yankees in the playoffs, so we're glad they're out.
So I got in listening first inning, beginning of the game.
Mm-hmm.
No score, obviously. It's the beginning of the game. So I'm listening. Second inning, third inning, fourth inning, fifth inning, blah, 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 blah. 12th inning, scoreless game. 13th inning, scoreless game. 14th inning, scoreless game.
Is this a wild card winner take all?
Yeah.
I haven't been paying attention yet. Okay.
14 innings, no score.
Wow.
Set a record for the longest playoff game with no score.
Wow.
Top of the 15th, Rays do not score. Heading into the bottom of the 15th inning. Now, mind you, a 4-hour game, 4.5-hour game. I've been invested since inning number 1.
Yeah.
I'm all set. Get to the bottom of the 15th. The Sirius goes blank. I'm like, what the heck? I log out. I bring the app back up, do the app. It's still blank.
The best is if you forgot to renew it. That was the time they just
that would have been a glitch on me. No. Bring it back up. It's not playing. All of a sudden, the face updates, and it says, Guardians won. Final, 1-0. I'm going.
That's great.
So I spent 15 innings to miss the final score.
Nice stuff, yeah.
So Sirius definitely gets a big glitch on that one over there. Oh, my God, it was crazy. And then Amazon was having a whole bunch of issues. Getting errors trying to bulk edit 2,000 listings at a time, and I do my edits via reports upload. All right. Oh, wow.
Oh, nice.
Amazon was having a problem that you couldn't update inventory and all that kind of stuff. And I only found out about that from the boards because the day before, I actually was trying to list a couple of items, and I list items on Amazon via Sellbrite, and they would not upload. Well, then I start getting paranoid. Is there a problem with Sellbrite? Is the Sellbrite not connected?
Right.
Is the Sellbrite the problem? Because I don't quite understand how all that stuff works together.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm like, oh my goodness gracious. So I'm stressing out about that. Next morning I get up. No problem with Amazon. Nobody could update their limit. So if you had 5 of something, you wanted to change it to 10.
Yeah.
It wouldn't let you do it. It wouldn't let you list new stuff, anything like that. So that was an Amazon glitch. Probably for your Amazon Prime. They probably were doing some back stuff with that, and it just screwed up the whole site for a few hours.
Crazy.
PG listens to baseball games like it's 1920. Yes, as a matter of fact,
he still listens to replays of the Black Sox. Yeah.
As a matter of fact, I do. I go to flop houses and use words like flop house, and I listen to that. That's kind of crazy. Then there's been a number of site changes. I don't know if anybody's seen on eBay a few different question mark shows up on a few different pages of eBay.
Really?
Yeah, it's supposed to be look like the Riddler took over the site. Riddle me this: why does eBay sales suck? No, it apparently is like an eBay help kind of deal, but it's a big question mark now. Couldn't pay with PayPal a few days ago. Yep.
I think someone told me that too, and I just shrugged it off like it'll work at some point. Just keep trying.
That is very, very true. Oh, the question mark is actually eBay Assistant, but you don't know that because most things on most websites, if you hover over them, it'll come up and tell you what it is. You hover over it, it doesn't tell you anything. You actually have to click on it, and then the eBay Assistant opens up. So eBay still hasn't figured out how to do the hover thing yet.
Yeah, gotcha.
But don't fix that, eBay. Every time you fix something. Couple of others. Oh, you were revising an item the other day for shipping. Monday morning.
Okay. What was I revising? Monday's a long time away. A lot has happened since Monday morning.
You were checking the weight on something.
Yep. Continue.
And you got completely lost on the listing page. What is all this stuff?
Oh, because of the new template or whatever that was?
All the item specifics.
Yeah, oh, God.
And then he's going, why is there 101 Dalmatians on this?
Yeah, I didn't understand any of it. It made no sense to me.
You say hello?
Yeah. Well, Lee is in the house. You've waited too long to get a word before that, but
you just couldn't think of one.
And have a mind blank.
Couldn't think
Myrtle Beach. We're actually going to Myrtle Beach in the end of March, early April for my kids' baseball tournament. So
yeah, I think it was a model. I think you were relisting or something.
Yeah, was it the Jaguar one? Well, he said it was extremely expensive.
Yep.
So we ended up trying to revise and see what the weight was, and I think my lister was correct. So the guy was just complaining because the thing was probably 10 pounds and it was probably 2 feet long. So
but you were saying, why is it talking about 101 Dalmatians?
Yeah, I didn't understand the drop downs had to be checked or bold, whatever it was. It didn't make any sense to me. So crazy.
And then Whatnot had a slight change as well to anybody selling on Whatnot. They changed the back of the office on things. It used to be that if I had 50 items listed and I sold an item, it would disappear and it would only show 49 more items. So when I page through, I'd only see 49 more items. Now, given that I've not figured out a way to have Whatnot put things in order for me, that helps because by the end of the auction, there's only 12 items left and I can find it easily. Now they're all staying up, but now it says quantity 1 or quantity 0 on it. Now, why I need to know that the 9th item that I had in my auction has quantity 0 and still have it showing up, I don't know. But it's still, they decided to fix something that wasn't broken, and that's the change now and Whatnot.
Travis in the house. How's it going?
Oh,
thank you. Georgia Hall?
Yeah.
Yeah, all right.
Thank you very much, Travis.
Yeah. And by the way, I was just informed that the guy down there, the warehouse guy that's palleting everything, boxing everything up, he has 24 pallets loaded and ready to go for the next 2 18-wheelers in the next couple weeks. So I'm looking forward to the second load because I have room for that. I do not have room for load number 3. So I got a couple weeks to figure out that situation, but we'll figure it out.
And Travis, we saw your first Whatnot auction. We are looking forward to part 2. Oh,
speaking of Whatnot, what happened to the enforcer? I haven't seen him in months.
I don't know. It's just when he was getting the hang of Whatnot.
Shucks.
It's time for the item of the week. And this is something other that I recently picked up. There are a lot of comic books published in America, obviously. And then what they do is they will publish them over in other countries. And I have gotten Mr. Magazine presents all the way through Christmas, but he has a birthday coming up next year. So here's his birthday present for next year.
Now I hope it's special because I'm going to be 50. Oops, did I just say that?
So, but this is an American or a French version, French-Canadian version, Spider-Man et les Torches Humaines. Oh, yeah, that was perfect. 4.5 grade on this, but
is that number 1 issue? It looks like number 1 in the corner.
Yeah.
Wow, very cool. Impressive.
But yeah, you will find these out there, and if you can find the foreign language stuff, It's not worth what the American stuff is at this point yet, but there are some pretty hardcore collectors of it out there.
Cool.
Because the print runs on these things are so much lower than the American versions of it. So again, if you do have an opportunity to buy comics with the foreign thing on there, definitely do so, because again, the print runs on them are very, very low. Now this is a reprint of an American story, but sometimes, especially with some of the Disney stuff, they have versions that the only printings they've ever done are like Italian and that kind of stuff. So some of the completists definitely want to get some of the Italian Disney stuff because it's the only version of that story that's ever been out there. So do keep your eyes open for that. The foreign stuff.
Up close. Very
Happy birthday.
Thank you. Appreciate it. That's cool. And this is like nice and tight too. Some of them are loose. Like you just feel that this seems like more sturdy than some of the graded cases they still have. Very cool. Thank you, sir.
Yep.
Put that somewhere safe for now.
Thank you. And big shout out to Random Neighborhood Kid on that as well. He did a really, really good job doing the editing on that.
So they did do some of the work for free down in Georgia. However, they wanted to get paid for some. They really worked their tail off.
They did.
And I threw them money each time per truck that they did. So, they're working late. They're working weekends, and everything was organized on pallets, labeled. I mean, you can't ask for a better job, honestly.
They did wonderfully. And actually,
he saved us a ton of money because I don't have to fly down for truck 2 or 3. So right there, it's just worth it alone for that.
Well, and that brings up a question that people were asking about the video. While we're talking about the video, I was going to talk about this later.
Yeah, cool. True.
That is true. They did see the Instagram with the blank kitchen floor. So you paid what for the magazines?
It was $30,000.
$30,000.
Yeah.
How much all in will you have paid for the deal?
I think we figured 55 to 60,000.
So basically, and that's what I thought. So basically, 30,000 for the magazines and 30,000 for the logistics is what it comes down to.
The 3 trucks would be about 20,000, and then you're talking the flight, the room, the labor down there, banker boxes, and so forth. So yeah, about 60,000. Yeah.
There you go, Travis. Nice. People were asking about that, so I did want to ask Mr. Magazine that, just kind of get an idea. So obviously, if he just were looking at cost of goods going into it, he just doubled his cost of goods there just by getting him up here just because of the logistics on it. So those are some real numbers.
And again, some people think I'm nuts. Like, why are you buying this? You have enough inventory. And I look at it like, I'm Mr. Magazine. If I don't buy this deal for pennies on a dollar, why would I buy any deal? And if you think about it, each truckload was holding 50,000 magazines, and say our average magazine sells for $20. Now, we're not going to sell every magazine, and I'll be dead by then. But you're still talking retail value of $1 million per truck, and I'm only paying $20,000 per truck if you look at it that way.
Now, what if all those magazines were stored at a flop house in Atlanta? Why do I think I'd be the one getting sent down there?
You're very familiar with that environment. Yeah.
That'd be wonderful.
I bought them enough money where they can hopefully get a lot of steak dinners. Yeah. So.
Yeah. No, Mr. Magazine treats most people well. There's only one person he doesn't treat quite so well, but what are you going to do? Right, Speaking of not treating me that well. So I went into Mr. Magazine's store Monday morning.
Okay.
And as again, I know you don't recall Monday morning because it was so long ago.
Yeah, it was.
But I'd had the double shots, and I think I was sick before I got the shot, so I wasn't sounding so good. Even today, I can tell in my voice I'm a little bit verklempt.
Putrid.
We'll go with verklempt.
Okay.
So do you remember what you asked me when I was coughing and blowing my nose?
I don't know. Do you have COVID? I don't know.
No, you asked me what was wrong, and then I mentioned that I was sick in this, and then I blew my nose a second time, and I believe the exact words you said were something like, "Why don't you just die already?"
I think you were lightheaded.
Oh, that must.
You were lightheaded and you were delirious, and you must have saw some you saw some reality show or something, and it was in your head. Yeah, that's crazy.
Right?
I would never say anything like that.
I would say just die
You're
already.
such an asset to the company. What would I do if you were dead? Mondays would be so boring, and Wednesdays.
But you could tell I was sick because I did call off the Thursday Whatnot comic auction.
Yeah.
Number one, I was really raspy sounding. I was going to sing Bonnie Tyler songs all night long, or Kim Carnes. I could do that now if you'd like.
I'd like to hear Total Eclipse of the Heart, but hey, it's just me.
Turn around. Anywho, but I called that off, and the main reason why was I think I could have done the auction itself, but it was just the thought of getting together items and packing them up the next day. And then because my day job had me nowhere near your store, in fact, I was home, I would have had to make a special trip over to your store to send the stuff out, especially with the holiday weekend. I wouldn't want to wait until Tuesday to get the items out from a Thursday auction. Right. So I just said, you know something, and I very rarely ever cancel anything. And I canceled the auction, went to bed early. I ended up sleeping like 13 hours that day.
Wow.
Didn't just die already, but what do you got to do?
Cool. Oh. Local Ron's in the house. How's it going?
Yeah, I probably misheard you. You couldn't possibly have said that. No, that would be horrible.
Maybe Daddy said it. You thought I did.
That might be it. Oh, and then I got the contact from Etsy to update my bank account. And I was a little bit afraid because I've heard of a lot of horror stories from various people that have had a lot of trouble. They attach your bank account to, which it already was, but there was some update I had to do. Knock on wood, took about 45 seconds and it all went through.
Wow.
Which I always hate those kind of things. And I know you hate those kind of things too.
Yeah.
Because the way I look at it is the absolute best case scenario, you're in the same spot you were before you got the email. That's the best case scenario.
Yeah.
You can't. I can't improve from where I was.
No, right. Yeah.
Nothing good can come out of this. Nothing good can possibly come out of it.
Yeah. Yeah. Sometimes it feels like those are beer steins. Of course.
Hey, it's Cardi B's birthday this past week, John. Come on.
You should do a Cardi B impression of Turn Around. Total Eclipse of the Heart.
I'm not even going to go there. Oh, thank you, Ron. Definitely do appreciate that.
And Ron's got something important to say, and this is it.
No, smash that like button. Oh, customer issues. You got an email from somebody on Amazon with the problem they had with an album. Do you remember that?
No, but I'm looking at myself in this monitor here, and I feel like I take Joker products. I have a smile on my face through the whole episode pretty much every week. I don't know what's going on. Products. Right? Or I just saw that movie Smile, which was pretty good, actually. The first 30 minutes I slept through, but the last hour was good. So anyways, what was the question?
Do you remember the email you got from the person on, there you go.
Amazon
about the record?
No, please. You make me sound so dumb. I feel like I'm a dumb blonde.
Well, you don't even remember telling me to just die already. So what do you expect?
I'm blocking it out of my head.
So Mr. Magazine got an email on Amazon from a person. They got an album by Stevie Wonder.
I remember this.
And then the album, they want to know if they could return it. We ended up giving them a full refund because it was a lower priced album. And a lot of times out there, just for customer service, just give somebody a refund. Don't make them return it. Don't replace it. Just, it was like $8 plus $4 shipping or $6 plus $4 shipping. We just gave them the full refund, told them, hey, we're sorry about that. They've got the rest of the album to enjoy that. But the problem with the album was it skips and then it gets stuck in one area. So it jumps forward and then just keeps repeating the thing. Isn't she beaut? Isn't she beaut? Isn't she beaut?
Yeah.
That kind of thing. You know what I'm talking about.
Gun to my head. Gun to my head.
That's not nice. That's not nice at all. Couple of other things.
Amazon, I got to talk about this because I think I mentioned this before. I don't know if it was on the show or not, but Amazon has this thing where, and I'm going to give you an example. This is the second or third time it's happened. I sold a Star Wars helmet, a new Darth Vader one. They scanned it. It was in there. Sold. It was like $140, $130, whatever. Guy returns it because it's not the proper one. So I'm looking, and I kind of knew something was going on. So if you scan this $140 one, this $200 deluxe one shows up. And we didn't really, a lister listed it, but I knew when it sold and I read it. I'm like, we do not have this deluxe version, yada, yada, for $200. So he's returning it. A few days later, we must have two in stock. A few days later, he buys the other one, but he doesn't buy it. He can get it for free by clicking on it and clicking replacement. So now it says he's buying it. There's no cost into it, but I'm supposed to send it to him and place the one he's returning.
Oh, instead of refunding him.
Yeah, so I don't know if Amazon allows him to do that or he's got to go through Amazon. But again, I knew it was wrong and I had to cancel it. And I'll just have to refund him. But I've done that before in the past where like, no, I don't have one. And again, we checked inventory. We did have 2. So now we had 2 dead. So we had to relist. I said, don't relist the other one, put it on eBay. But it's weird that they allow that. And sometimes I'll just cancel it. It's easier to cancel, refund, and then relist it. That makes sense.
Yeah. No, you're definitely right on that. Definitely right.
Yeah. Joker Products. Classic movie.
Couple of things. Hey, I noticed I have 1 item late shipping on eBay.
Really?
I shipped it on time, but it arrived late. And so that's a minor strike against me. No big deal. So I said, oh, that's odd. Let me look into this. So it's an item that just arrived, we'll say Monday. Well, it would have been probably last Saturday because Monday was a holiday. So say it arrived last Saturday. Say the 7th of October it was delivered.
Right.
I shipped it out like the 25th of September. So it ended up taking a long time to get to where it was going.
Yeah.
So I get dinged because of that. You know where it was going?
No.
Florida.
What's wrong with Florida? Oh, the storm down there?
They had the storm down there.
Oh, that makes sense.
It got held up.
You should be able to argue that one.
I'm thinking if it were important to me, if I were,
if it's worth the 15-minute phone call.
Right, exactly. Because I looked at that, I said, because if you look at the tracking, like it left my house the 25th, it got here the 27th, got in Florida like the 1st of October or the 30th of September. Yeah. And then it just sat until it got delivered the 7th. I go, well, yeah, oddly, the mailman, and so much for that neither rain nor sleet nor snow, huh? They didn't want to go out in the middle of a hurricane to deliver my package. Yeah, right. And I, for one, am irate. I'm mad as hell, and I'm not going to take it anymore. But yeah,
gonna sing Quiet Riot.
But yeah, that was kind of interesting. But if you're up, and I don't know if that affects you on Top Rated Plus or any of that stuff, but do check that, and I guarantee you can get something like that taken off because they're aware that there was a hurricane down there. I'm sure the bots are just looking at the dates and saying this was arrived late. So just to let you know on that over there.
Speaking of bots, I heard Nike's going to start cracking down on bots.
Are they?
Yeah.
I did not hear that. What were they doing? Buying all the hot new shoes?
Yeah. People were complaining that they can never get anything good, and other people are getting 20, 30 of them, whatever. So, yep.
And then, this is going to sound like sacrilege, but I think in some ways, item specific stuff, the recommended item specifics on your eBay dashboard are just made up. And the reason why, I went to bed the other night, I had 11,871 recommended item specifics. Okay. Yeah. 11,900. I woke up the next day, I had 11,802. I did not sell 67 items overnight. So somehow, and then today, the number went up again, and I looked, and there's all kinds of comics on there that weren't on there before. What? So what I'm thinking is eBay must have updated something in the item specifics for comic books. Which then I didn't have the proper item specifics in. Yeah. So it pushed it all out as being, oh, you should change it, because all of a sudden, because again, I'm on the first page, I know these comics have not ever been there before. Right. And suddenly they're on there today. All American Men at War. I would have seen that. It's not on there. Yeah. And then today it's on there, along with a bunch of other comics.
I wish you tested it out when you slept for 13 hours before and after and see what the difference was.
I probably should have. Yes. No. Nope, John. It showed that it arrived late. So that gave me a strike, or not a strike, but it was a mark against me. It's on my permanent record. Jacksonville Regional Post Office as a whole. I had stuff make a round trip from there to Brooklyn and back. Wow. Better keep tabs on item specifics. If you don't update, they can remove those listings.
I don't update any of them.
I'm working on mine, like I said, but again, they just kind of, I don't know what they're doing.
I thought they leave your old listings the way they are. Moving forward, you have to do it.
They don't know what they're doing, but they're not showing the listings.
We had like 100,000 ones we did change. We couldn't do that, so they just said moving forward, we're good. So crazy.
eBay's like the Malta. It's
True.
like something.
Yeah.
It's like something. Couple of other quick things. Did you see the article that was making the news about Mr. Beast? He spends
that he turned down $1 billion.
No, another one. He spends $8 million a month on videos in his business.
Oh, I believe that easily. I mean, you watch his stuff. I mean, they're crazy. They're off the wall.
Yeah, he's like 23 or 24.
Yeah, no, he's got a good crew, man. They come up with great ideas. I don't know, it's crazy. Yeah, but he's making drinks. He's got restaurants. He's got candy bars, sandwich. I mean, he's got all kinds of stuff. Yeah.
Maybe at some point there'll be a Paperboy candy bar.
Mm-hmm.
Or no, they had a Reggie candy bar.
Yeah. You want the Reggie, the Beast, or Paperboy? What sounds best?
Paperboy.
Oh, Paperboy.
Oh my God! You forgot my name. Oh my God! This show's gone completely off the rails. Oh, wow. And then you had an item ended.
A
whole bunch of items.
The photos again. So we had a new lister doing they're not really adult photos. They're more like artist cheesecake.
Yeah.
And we've called them multiple times. What category? What has to be done? So the first grouping, say she listed 100, no problem. Then when she listed the next grouping, she forgot to. I mean, maybe I don't know. I think she started from scratch. Not sell similar, and she forgot the nudes drop down, which
that was a while ago.
That's the big key. You have to have the nudes drop down, or it's a violation or whatever. So we get 50, they kick off, whatever. So I said, well, let's end those completely, and we'll give it a week or two. So I think we even waited close to a month where we had the 100 to relist.
Yep.
So we checked the first one all the way down to the last one, and it seemed nudes drop down was in there.
Mm-hmm.
Right category. We're good to go. I relist them all. A few hours later, multiple violations, and I didn't read through it. I gave it to you, and you said the drop downs are wrong. So are we missing a new drop down? Because the nudes were in
all
there.
of them ended, or just a few?
There was a bunch. It might have been another 30, 40, 50, but maybe there was some in the middle we missed. I don't know. But I said, delete them all. Delete every 150 of them. Get rid of them. We'll start from scratch at a later date. I don't want to entertain this until after Christmas. It's not worth it. So,
see, and I had an item ended, and of course, it's a strike against me on Amazon. I listed a Silver Surfer comic book for $6.22. And don't you know, I get a high price violation about an hour later.
We get a lot of the potential pricing errors. Yeah. We get a lot. So my computer guy has some program where it every time we get one, it goes 10% lower, and then it stops at a certain percentage. It doesn't go below a certain amount. It doesn't go above a certain amount. So it seems to be working, but we're still getting 25 to 50 a day. It's crazy.
Is that the recommended or the there's the two different categories? I know the one category, not essential, but the one I know there are some that they absolutely need to have in there. They've said. I've not heard that about the recommended, but that doesn't mean that they wouldn't do it. But the problem is, it seems as though they're still tweaking the item specifics as well from time to time, because again, all the comic books just showed up, which weren't in there before. So I don't know if a bot went through the comics section and said these have to be, or if they changed something in the comics section and, he doesn't have something recommended that wasn't recommended yesterday.
Lovely Lori says required.
Required. Yeah, that would be the word. So I've heard the required ones have to get done, but that the recommended ones are simply recommended. But who knows?
I'm more concerned with Dawn. Is she here? I've seen nothing going on. Are you okay there? Are you out there?
She's probably she probably ran to her local Sam Goody, whatever it is in
Sam Goody.
Whatever it is in Canada.
Yeah, Cardi B's at Sam Goody.
La Sam Goody. And she probably wants to buy my spoken word singing album, because I've showed these pipes 5 or 6 times today. It's been wonderful.
That's about the only pipes you have.
Anywho, so now we're going to head on into the main topic. What's the best listing strategy for slow times? And I dropped this on you right before the show.
Yeah, I had to think. He stumped me with this one. I had to think about it, and I guess my answer is I read on, I don't know who it was on Instagram. They say, whatever you're selling, sell more of it. I guess I'm going to go with that because, if the 45s, my employees listing or selling, why stop listing 45s? If the comics are selling on Amazon, so, we hired a couple more people. We got everything covered, toys, sports items. So, just don't quit, keep pumping out what you're doing, and hopefully it'll sell. That's my theory.
And it's kind of interesting you said that, because my thought was, You're right. But what you have to do is you have to assess what your needs are.
Mm-hmm.
And your needs are obviously quite different than my needs because I've got the day job right now.
Mm-hmm.
So I approach it more, is it a marathon or a sprint for me? That Christmas is coming. I've got 20,000 items listed on eBay. I will get some sales over Christmas. I just will, no matter what. Some stuff will sell. So I'm more approaching it that the things that I'm listing today, just by the nature of the stuff that we list, aren't necessarily going to fly off the shelf tomorrow anyway.
Right.
But if I can list 50 items this week, that's 50 items that'll sell next year, the year after, the year after. And if you go into that, just kind of stay the course as to what you're doing. But that's difficult to do because I think we all get in that mindset that things aren't selling.
Right.
Well, why am I going to keep banging my head against this wall?
But you don't want to price them cheap either. So if I'm putting on something that's worth $300, I'm putting a $300 item up. If I paid $150 for it, I don't want to take a $200 offer. But at least it's up there, and you can entertain offers.
Well, that's a good point because I think a lot of people do that. They look at it and they're like, sales are so bad.
Yeah.
I've got to kickstart my sales.
Right.
I'll put this up, even though it's worth $300 and I can get $300 later. I just have to put it up now. I got to get a sale. Right. Because you start panicking. And I did mention a few weeks ago on the show, I literally did have a day with no sales on eBay. Zero.
Right.
To sell zero with 20,000 items is hard.
Crazy. But what we do is we price the unique items or the trending toys on eBay at the highest comps. And then, because we put them on sale, we take offers. So for an example, we had this rare Ninja Turtles. It was Splinter, but it was a rare version for $375. So they sell for $300 to $400. Okay, it didn't sell in auction, so now we're taking an offer. Some guy kept offering $250. So I looked at the comps and I'm like, no, the cheapest is $300. I will take the cheapest at $300 because I'll still make money. But why would I take less than that?
Right.
So you got to hold firm on, now if the cheapest was $250, maybe I would have, because if I'm still making money, I don't care. But like you said, on eBay, anything, it could be $300 to $400. There's a wide range. Well, if I'm holding out for $400, it might take me longer. But if I'm going to make $100 on a deal at $300, why not do it? But again, I'm not going to take less than the cheapest out there and make less money.
And I guess the other point is when sales are low and slow as they have been for so many of us, it really does take an inner strength to continue to list, because so often you think, what is the point? What am I doing? I'm waking up in the morning and I'm listing, 40 items today, and none of them is selling, and I'm only packing 2 items up to go out.
Yeah.
And that goes on for 3-4 days in a row.
Mm-hmm.
The weak among us just give up.
Yeah.
They really do. Or they say, I'm just going to, they find other things to do.
Mm-hmm.
I got to get the Christmas lights, make sure they're untangled. I got to make sure this. And they keep making
I would throw them out and buy a new one. They're on sale.
But they keep making excuses up and finding other things to do, and they putter around rather than just sitting down and saying, I just have to get stuff listed. I just have to. My goal is 20 a day. My goal is this. I want to get this box done, whatever.
Yeah.
And it's so hard to do, but definitely stay the course at that point. I think that's the way to go. Oops.
So, John, as far as the Playboys, they used to have a rule where pre-1980s you could list on eBay. They got rid of the adult category. I think some of them you can still sell. However, I wouldn't list any of them on there because they're the judge and jury. If they don't like the cover or the year or the issue, it's going to be a strike. Like Don says here, there's no adult stuff anymore. Some Playboys slide through, others don't, and I just wouldn't risk it.
There you go. So that I guess that's what it comes down to. And I agree with what you said, which I hadn't thought of before, which is whatever's selling, sell more of it. So if all of a sudden I notice I have a lot of sheet music selling, list a lot more sheet music.
Sure.
I guess what I had written down to do would be to list, if you're going to list, and I preach this all the time anyway, but if you're going to be listing 40 items, list 2 items in 20 different categories, because especially I think that's more important than ever in slow times, because if you don't know what's going to sell and I list 40 trade cards, and trade cards aren't selling, that doesn't do me any good having those 40, not short term. Whereas if I list 2 pieces of sheet music, 2 auto brochures, 2 comic books, 2 this, gives me more of a chance to kind of almost like scattershot that, oh, wait a minute, I listed these and comic books are starting to sell. So maybe have that be your initial foray to see what sells. And then comic books sold out of that batch. Now I'm going to list a lot of comic books. So maybe have that be your exploratory list across a lot, and then list heavy into whatever does sell out of that.
Yeah, I mean, we've been experimenting with certain things. Like I'll have someone list ornaments all day, 45s all day. Another person's doing sports cards. So we're covering a lot of ground of things that do sell, but the more we're getting on, the more we're going to sell. Especially for Amazon, it works better on Amazon than it does eBay. But again, with eBay, if we take offers, we'll sell more anyhow. So
yeah, so I think that would be my advice, is just assuming you don't absolutely need the money and you're going to lose your house if you don't sell stuff. If that's the case, as we always say, do what you got to do. Sell stuff cheap, sell stuff at a loss if you have to. You need to, at that point, you have to keep the roof over your head. But assuming you're not in dire straits, you've got some kind of a backup, or a day job or whatever the case happens to be. Stay the course. Things will brighten up at some point. They always have. I remember we had some really down times back, 2007, 2008. We had some down times back in, a couple of other years throughout. We've had some real down times. And then a year and a half ago, I don't think we've ever had a better time than we did there as far as sales go.
True.
So you never know what might happen. You never know how the market might turn. But if your things aren't listed, you can't sell it. And the other side of that as well is, you can stockpile all you want. You can only list so fast unless you suddenly magically are able to find, hey, I've got 400 people that need jobs who know how to list on eBay. You're all listing tomorrow. That's not going to happen.
Come down to my warehouse.
That's not going to happen, obviously. So you have to be prepared. And then, of course, the other side of that, what's the problem, especially for anybody? What's the problem when sales increase? You're spending all your time or more time pulling orders and packing stuff, which takes away from potentially listing time as well. So, hey, I'm going to list more when sales get good. No, you're not, because there's only so many hours in a day.
True.
So now when things are slow, just think of the good times, think that things will pick up, and list across a lot of stuff. If you find something selling, you're selling a lot of, list heavily into that category. I think that would probably be the advice I would give you.
Can you list adult on Facebook Marketplace? I don't know the answer to that. If you can, I know for sure Amazon, you can certainly list Playboys with no problem. Very competitive, but that's where we sell ours and on our website. So, try it out and see what happens. That's true.
Listen like crazy, not sing. Oh no, trust me, I was in the same place. I definitely was. That's kind of why I wanted to do this over here, because I was just looking at the sales numbers and I was saying, what am I doing? What am I doing? So, Michelle, what you're feeling is very, very normal and very, very human, and just like frustrating. Frustrating really is the right word to use. But just keep on keeping on, as they say on that.
Jim and I are on the same page. Keep listing. That's all you can do. You got the inventory. Why stop? You bought it for a reason. You bought it to sell it. Obviously, be smart and list the stuff that you know is going to sell first. And the dead stock, you can just sit in the corner. But definitely keep listing.
I didn't get any sales. Wow. And I've actually noticed over about the last, and I wish I didn't have this giant green screen behind me, because otherwise I would grab my paperwork. But over the last several weeks, Saturdays and Sundays have been absolutely dreadful.
College football Saturday, NFL Sunday. I mean, it's definitely.
Well, plus I think another part of it too might be, I think another is with school back in, people can't just run off and do something or other with the kids on a Tuesday at noon. I'll sneak out of work and we're going to go do this. It's more regimented to, we got to do this on the weekend, because we have to do this on the weekend.
Sure.
I think that's part of it as well. On that, even stuff like, can we get the doctor's appointment in on Saturday? Do they have such a thing? Oh, they do have Saturday hours. We can get this taken care of. We can get this taken care of. So I think people are a lot busier with family stuff and all that on the weekends.
So you're saying next time get your shots on a Friday afternoon, so you're sick Saturday and Sunday? Is that what you're saying?
No.
I think that's what you're saying.
And maybe be dead by Monday. There you go. All right.
Wow. Yeah, obviously sports stuff would take a toll, but clothing may not. I mean, who knows? Yeah.
My sports sales are terrible. Jeez. You know what I just realized? We forgot to do the insulting offer of the week.
Wow. Yeah,
I skipped right by that over there. Go ahead.
I still got repeat buyers on eBay and Amazon and the website. So, I'm still good.
Yeah, I've not noticed any difference one way or the other on that. Nothing's jumped out at me that either which way on that. I'll monitor that and I'll let you know next week because I've not noticed it one way or the other.
Yeah, so I do get lucky. I do have a lot of repeat buyers on all platforms, which thank God they'll buy 3, 4, 5, 10, 20 magazines at a time or records or whatever.
Yep. 2 days straight from a booster shot. Yep.
Jeez.
Yeah, no, it was
that's too bad.
It was bad on that. So yeah, I've got a ton of 40% offers, except I had a piece of sheet music. I was asking $99 on it. Okay. Now it's a rare piece. I couldn't find any out there. I feel it's worth $99. Well, I had sent the guy an offer to the watcher of $89. So he comes back at $15.
Nice. Good for him.
I just ignored him on that. I mean, I declined it. That was it. Because I was thinking about it. What are we going to do? I offered him 89. He offered.
Where are you going with 15? Now, I don't know about you. Say he offered, if it was me and he offered 50 and I paid $1, I'd let it go. That's just me. Or if I had it for 10 years and he offered me 40, maybe I'd let it go. But for $15, how much are you making? Who cares? After all the fees.
My thought was, okay, so now I come back at him at 75. He comes back at $22.50. I come back at 68. He comes back at 30.
Right.
And we end up at 40 or 45. I said, I don't. My life's too short to deal with that back and forth.
I had someone who did the extra $1. Like we were off by like $50, and he countered back at $1 more. So then I countered back at $1 less. I was like, I'll play this game and never hear from him again.
Yeah, and then remember last week, I had mentioned the Atlantic mag. Oh, how about Easy Rider?
Yeah, they are allowed on there. They haven't had any issues. Generally, the early ones for sure, 70s and 80s. I don't know about the newer ones, but I haven't had any issues with them at all. But worst case, you always call. If you ever have a question, call eBay or you email them through Facebook or something. Yep. Yeah, so they will tell you can or can't. They'll look at other people listing them and they'll say, hey, you can list them, or they'll say you can't, but other people get away with it. We haven't caught them with the algorithm, blah, 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 blah. But they will tell you for sure. So, but yeah, I think you're good there. So
remember the guy that offered $1 on the Atlantic magazine?
Yes.
He came back.
Oh, good. Can't wait to hear this.
$2.21.
I hope he's banned at this point because your time's way more valuable than that.
He more than doubled his offer. And me, the big blue meanie, still didn't take it and, in fact, banned him.
Good.
Yep. Absolutely right on that. So, because although if he kept doubling his offer, at some point I would take it.
He's run out of offers. Yeah. I love the guys that run out of offers and they still want to make me these offers. I'm like, you had your chance. Sorry.
Now we're going to head on into the rambling story of the week. And I believe you have one today.
I've been sitting on this for a couple of weeks. It's not the best story. It's not about my basement, but
is it about a flop house?
Nevertheless, it's about Papergoy and myself and some of my buddies. So if we get in the DeLorean and drive back to 1990s, mid 90s, a bunch of goofy guys have nothing better to do at night. So we were kind of like Jackass before Jackass. We would film shows and skits. And again, we had the octagon above my shop where we'd fake fight and stuff. And Papergoy was a commentator. So we expected him I think we had the Monday night posse. So every Monday we'd all meet at my shop, go upstairs. My parents were usually in Florida or whatever. So we had run of the place. We had a big living room that we would move the furniture. We'd have matchups and fight video, and we'd have microphones and all that jazz. Well, one time Papergoy did not show up and we needed a commentator. And I don't know if you told us or not, but we were not happy with that. We needed the commentator. So what do? We get in our car, we drive over to his house, and his roommate answered the door. And we said, "Where's Papergoy?" But we didn't say his name. He wasn't that at the time. We said,
"That was not
his real name." And he goes, "He's upstairs in bed. He's sick." Well, we said, "Let us in." And we were filming this whole thing at the time, the back and forth through the door and all that. So he let us in. We ran up the stairs, and he was sick. He was in bed. But again, we have a show to do. All right. We got on the bed. We didn't hurt him too badly, but we did do some punching and stuff and, rattled his cage a little bit. And he took it like a man. He was not upset about it. Normally someone that was really sick, and trust me, he gets sick as you can get. So he was sick, and he handled like a champ, and good for him. But
the show must go on.
The show must go on. Yeah. And maybe someday we could put footage on the site, like bloopers or past
Yeah, definitely you have that, because my
Mighty Greek has it all.
Oh, does he?
Oh,
Okay.
yeah.
My sister has some video of Paper Goy when he was 3 or 4 years old, helping rake leaves by grabbing all of the leaves out of the bag and filling in all the spots in the ground where the leaves were supposed to go.
There you go. That's it. Yeah.
So that was always a helper back then. Always a helper. So hopefully that helped you out a little bit over there, though, as far as the pep talk. Just keep listening on. That's what it comes down to. And as Mr. Magazine swiped off Instagram, if you know what's selling, keep selling it. So if you got 20 different items up and one item is selling well in your product mix, list heavily into that. If you don't have that at this point, do the scatter shot, list across a lot of different items. If something out of there does start selling, list heavily into that, because let's be honest, at this point, all of us have, I've got comic boxes there, I got sheet music there, I got playbills there.
You may have more percentage wise to your house and listings in excess inventory than I do, and I have a lot. So yeah, it's impressive. But basically, he's saying if you have trade cards, list trade cards on eBay, because they do sell.
He's saying those are perfect whatnot items.
Oh, sure they are. Yeah. Sure they are.
So hopefully that helped everybody today. Want to thank everybody. Please do hit the like button if you haven't. Paper Goy has always been abused. Always been abused. Nobody knows the troubles.
No Cardi B quote this week.
I
don't think she sang that song, but go ahead.
No, I don't believe she did, although she may after she hears us. So definitely do hit the like button for us. I will be having a Facebook auction Monday at 4:00 over on the Vintage Syndicate and Ephemera. Tuesday, Thursday, I will be having 4:00 over on Whatnot, $3 Ephemera on Tuesday. Oh, and those auctions are both up. The 25th is the trade card auction.
Okay, good.
And that is already up. So definitely do check that out. Pre-bid if you can't stay, which, come on, you can move your schedule around. It's well worth it. Like that. Hit the like button. There you go.
Yeah, we'll show up at your house for sure with the video camera too.
Unless it's a flop house in Lisle, and then I'll be showing up because I'll be sent down there.
Don't forget, for Joker products, go to mr-magazine.com.
And I want to thank everybody for coming on out today. And definitely. And happy birthday, Cardi B. We'll see you next show.
Take care. Bye-bye.